Christmas has come early. We got to smile about this one because you know where I'm going. It's the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. That's who the hell should get them. I mean, this is Christmas come early. I mean, you know, they are the gift that keeps on giving. Of course, the answer to this question should be the Dallas Cowboys. Now, they won't do it. They won't do it. But the fact that we know they should, and we know that this is an ingredient to their success, but that they probably will drop the ball on this too, makes me smile.
This guy. That was early this week, Wednesday to be exact, because Mad Dog was there. With Stephen A's take on where Davante Adams should go after, Adam Schefter reported the Raiders are willing to listen to trade offers for the star. Cowboys COO Stephen Jones spoke yesterday on Dallas's interest.
No, I don't think there's anything to that. And, you know, Davante's, we just signed our number one guy, and he's the number one receiver. And, as you know, when you have, the challenges cap-wise that we have, that'd be a long putt for us.
SA up first. Do you agree with Stephen Jones' comments on why they can't add Davante?
Of course not. I mean, listen, they're going to come up with every excuse in the book. We understand this. But in the end, you know what? So you have that explanation. What was your explanation for not going after Derrick Henry? When you knew that you didn't have a running game and you needed a running back. It cost too much, right?
Richest franchise in all
$8 million? $8 million. So you pay CeeDee Lamb $136 million. You pay Dak Prescott $240 million. $60 million guaranteed as average salary, all right? That's what you do. You're going to pay Micah Parsons as well. You're going to have about $125 million chewed up in the cap per year just for those three players alone, okay? You ain't winning a damn thing. And then on top of it all, you have an opportunity to really, really help your $60 million quarterback in Dak Prescott, or who was going to be your $60 million quarterback. And you have a chance to do so by getting one of the elite running backs and bell cows this game has seen. And you pass up on him. He works out in Dallas. He lives there in the offseason. He said publicly he wanted to be a Dallas Cowboy, and still you didn't go get him. Then you go up against him, and he runs for over 150 yards on you. I think he outrushed the Dallas Cowboys 151-51. I think that's what the number was when he went up against the Dallas Cowboys a couple of weeks ago. And so if you have an excuse for him, you'll come up with an excuse for anybody. In this particular instance, it's Davante Adams. It's the money he's going to cost in year 25 and 26. It's all of these different things. But in the end, what happens is when it all said and done, it appears as if the Dallas Cowboys were asleep at the wheel in the offseason because they were of the mindset, we have enough. Clearly, they miscalculated. Without question.
Yep. Yeah, listen, in terms of like specifically the cap stuff, I mean, he's right. CeeDee Lamb only counting for about $8.75 million against the cap this year. That's going to balloon all the way to $35 million next year. But Stephen A., you posed a question. You could help your quarterback. You know who it would help your quarterback, who, by the way, is already leading an offense that's fourth in passing yards? A running back. That would help your quarterback because you are horrible there. And you know who's just wasting away down in Florida right now in football hell and purgatory? Trevor Etienne. Maybe you make a run to go get him. He's already been locked up by the Jaguars, and right now he's going to cost you about $6.1 million in his fifth-year option. So for at least this year and next year, you've got a solid guy who won't count against your cap, still allows you to do the business deals you need to get done with Micah Parsons, and will help your offense that is incredibly one-dimensional.
They're not trying to do nothing. They want to sit there and talk about how broke they are and how they're up against the cap. When all of these people are up against the cap and they find ways to add pieces to their team to be more competitive, it's now just become excuses out of Dallas. It used to be reasons, right? There's a reason we can't do this, a reason we can't do that. It's now excuses why they won't go out and add pieces to this team, and they're going to continue to lose games because of it.
You know it's bad when Stephen A. is getting tired of trolling them. I mean,
last week he said he felt sorry for them last week.
He said, he's actually like kind of over it this season no cigar.
Kicking a puppy when they're down?
Yeah, like no
You know why,
Southern
though?
Steve access.
They're down too early, though. That's the problem
not even
for him.
fun.
That's right, and I
It's
tell
not
you that
fun
all
for
the
him
time.
right now. It's
We
not
need a
fun
new
for
one
me
for you.
because I want Dallas Cowboy fans' holidays ruined.
Yeah.
It's too early. You understand? They get to recuperate, and then they'll recover for Thanksgiving and Christmas. I want their hopes up, and I want it plummeting on Thanksgiving, and even worse on Christmas. That's not what's happening
That's
right
what it
now.
is.
They're
They
taking all the
started
fun
too
out
low.
of it. They're taking all the fun out of it.
They're frauds. Smalls, I don't want to hear about how it's a great defense. They ain't all in on winning a championship. You're not a great defense. Does this look like a championship team to you? How do you let that game get that out of hand for your offense? They got all the talent. It looks the part, but something's not quite right. Joe Burrow let Joe Burrow down. Joe Burrow let the offense down. Joe Burrow let the team down. This is a two-team race in the NFC East. It ain't the Giants, and it damn sure ain't the Dallas Cowboys. The New York Jets. I don't think they got the guy. I have zero confidence in Aaron Rodgers. He's a guy that I've referred to as a social arsonist. He's fallen off a little bit. The Philadelphia Eagles are huge, huge frauds. Frauds. Frauds.
Is that the name of the segment?
Yeah, fraud.
No,
Fraud.
no. Chris is known for his hot takes, in case America doesn't know. So let's see what you can't take.
Oh, well, Molly, now that Stephen A. has cleared this thing out and let me go, I got to start it off with Aaron Rodgers. You know what I can't take?
Tell me.
I can't take when people refer to Aaron Rodgers as the best thrower of the football, the Pharaoh of Florham Park, who's going to rain down the 10 plagues of Egypt if Rob Saleh don't get his way. Like, this guy being referred to as the best thrower of the football. You know why we do that? Because we ain't talking about Aaron Rodgers winning championships. I ain't never seen somebody in the GOAT conversation get more mileage out of one championship. 2010 is a long time ago. You want to know how long it was? It was before Stephen A. had that retractable roof. People have had kids, they have raised them, sent them to college, and married them off since Aaron Rodgers got to the Super Bowl. He's been to one Super Bowl, and the man has won 4 MVPs. There have been 11 people in the NFL to win multiple MVPs, and only Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson ain't been to multiple Super Bowls. And those are the guys that we refer to with their physical attributes. Lamar Jackson, best runner we've ever seen at the quarterback position. Aaron Rodgers, best thrower of the football that we've ever seen. We ain't talking about those guys getting the championships. I'm over it. I'm tired of people referring to that. Something about that got to change.
Say what? It's so long ago
that's
that
fine.
I ain't played football in 10 years, and I was in that game.
My goodness. Stephen A., you're
Well,
back on the big screen, buddy.
He says, and I love myself on the big screen. Thank you very, very, very much. By the way, wait till you see some scenes in General Hospital coming up, but that's the subject of another
Oh, I
day.
heard you
Here's
had
the
a
point,
love
y'all.
scene
When you
when
bring
I told
when,
Miss Qerim.
when you bring up the retractable roof, keep in mind corrections happen all the time. Here, Club for Men is coming. Here, Club for Men is coming.
You've been
Get that out.
saying that for like 80
Secondly,
years. You're not
secondly,
gonna do it.
yeah. I'm wait till the summertime. Secondly, here's the deal. I can't be inconsistent. Canty makes a good point. See, I can say what I say about Aaron Rodgers because I do believe he's a bad man. But let me be very, very clear. I've also lamented the fact that there's no Super Bowl championship to show for since 2010. And on many, many occasions on these airwaves, we talk about championships or lack thereof. So, Chris Canty, if that's what you're holding your hat on, I'm not going to disagree with you, bro. I get it. Just don't talk to me about a skill level, be questioning that. But you got to close, and the closure has not arrived. So I'm with you.
I don't even think you have to go all the way back to the championships. You just have to look at the last couple of years. Save for last year, obviously, he was hurt. But I think, listen, I was all ready to go on this show last week to pick apart Dan Orlovsky's top quarterback list where he put Aaron Rodgers at number 2, simply for beating the Patriots, who, yes, have a decent defense, but are also a team that are not favored in a single game this season, the lone exception in the NFL. And he was brought back down to life last week by the Broncos. They can blame the rain all they want. The point is that people just assumed Aaron Rodgers and his pedigree would make the Jets better. You've got a lot of defense or a lot of great talent on paper. They are not playing like a team. He's not bringing that leadership. I 100% agree with you.
And the coaching's not great.
And Milli Vanilli also blamed it on the rain.
He did that is a thing. All right, so
what you got, number 2?
So we're 1 for 1. You know the other thing I can't stand?
Tell me.
These people that are still trying to defend the Tua contract. Now, here's the thing. I'm happy that Tua got his money. I wish him a speedy recovery. But I'm watching Monday Night Football, and our very own Dan Orlovsky is talking about, well, if you want to see the real value of Tua, look at how bad the offense is. That's why they had to give him the contract. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. They had the 5th-year option plus a franchise tag, and they could have used that 2 years of team control at $60 million rather than committing $167 million guaranteed money. It just made no sense for a player that had one healthy season in his first 4 years that you just back up the truck and give him the bag. It made no sense, except if you're general manager Chris Greer and you're majoring in job security and you want to justify passing on Justin Herbert when you had a chance to draft him, passing on Jordan Love in 2020 when you had a chance to draft him, and passing on Jalen Hurts in 2020 when you had a chance to draft him. There's a reason why out of all the quarterbacks in that 2020 draft class, Tua was the last one to get his bag. Chris Greer knew that. You know who else knew that? The Dolphins owner Stephen Ross, which is why they gave Tua that contract. But it amounts to franchise malpractice because they gave the contract to a guy who can't stay healthy and available for his team. And it's insanity for the Miami Dolphins and the Tuanon fans out there to try to repeat the insanity and not have a better plan when it comes to a contingency to their quarterback being hurt.
S.A. Canty, Aaron, it's all out.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, but I would have appreciated if you had been a bit more concise. All you had to do was say Stephen A. was right when he was talking earlier this week about Tyreek Hill and how that man should have never left Kansas City. Should have stayed where he was with Patrick Mahomes instead of being near South Beach. Now, we all know there's no crime being near South Beach. But that's a different subject for another day. My point to you is that, Chris Canty, you're absolutely right because the durability or lack thereof of Tua has really, really gone about the business of bringing attention to what the hell were the Miami Dolphins thinking and where the hell are they going to go from here, because without him, they don't seem to know what they're doing, and they just seem to be perpetual losers. Longest playoff drought in the NFL, 2008, it's been since 2000 that you won a playoff game, for crying out loud. So I don't disagree with you, CC, not at all.
It's about injuries, and that's the reason he was the last to get his contract. And he put them in a position, I think, with his holdout or his hold-in that I'm not going to play until I get my money. And so Chris Greer had to make a decision. Am I willing to go on the field with Skylar Thompson, who we saw can't do it, or are we willing to go out and try to bring somebody else in who we are sort of now seeing Mike McDaniel actually can't work as well with, or do we give Tua the money? And I'm with you. I think you make him play on the option. I think you franchise him, and we've seen quarterbacks do that. The Kirk Cousins, the Dak Prescotts. I felt like Tua should have been more in that category, not because of skill, but because of health. I think Chris is exactly right.
You got one more for me?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're talking about franchise malpractice, so how could we not bring up the Chicago Bears?
Damn.
I can't stand the Chicago Bears and how they handle the quarterback position. I can't stand it. Listen, America, check on your friends that are Bears fans. Please check on them. Top Chef Joe Flam, I'm talking about you. Love your restaurant, Rosemary, but I can't stand how your football team handles quarterback. Remember, this is a team that is passed on C.J. Stroud 2 years ago when they traded the #1 pick to the Carolina Panthers, knowing that they were unsure about their quarterback situation. This past draft, they decided to pass on Jaden Daniels in lieu of taking Caleb Williams. And oh, by the way, they traded Justin Fields. All three of those quarterbacks are playing better than the one they got right now. And here's the thing. This is not an indictment on Caleb Williams, because Caleb Williams can still be a good pro, but I can't stand how the Chicago Bears handled it, because they made Caleb Williams the day one starter, knowing the pressure that would be on that kid because of the moves that they made in order to position themselves to get him, and have a head coach on the hot seat. And oh, by the way, the Chicago Bears, why didn't you go out and hire Cliff Kingsbury as your offensive coordinator? Why are you going to let the Commanders hire him and let him build the offense for Jaden Daniels to have success and go with, Shane Waldron? Shane Waldron as your guy? I'm sorry, forgive me, I'm not familiar with Shane Waldron's work. But either way, they have bungled this entire thing when it comes to the drafting and developing of a franchise quarterback. It ain't on Caleb Williams. The common denominator in all the dysfunction in the first round bust at quarterback in Chicago is the Chicago Bears organization.
Shane Waldron was the offensive coordinator in Seattle for the last 3 years, in case you weren't familiar with his work. What I would say to you is that you have a point based purely on facts, based on what you're watching right now. But when I think from Kevin Warren, the CEO, down to Ryan Poles, not Ryan Pace, we know what a crime he committed in drafting Mitchell Trubisky instead of, Deshaun Watson or Patrick Mahomes, but Ryan Poles being in there, you're changing the culture of the organization. You moved in an entirely different direction. The jury is still out. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm saying it's a bit too early to sit up there and just vilify them to that degree. They got to protect their quarterback better. They got to be better. Their defense is good. Is Eberflus the right guy? Should you have kept him on board? That's another legitimate question. All of these things come into play, but in the end, it's still a bit early considering you essentially have a new regime in place and you're moving forward with a new rookie quarterback. The jury is still out. Let's see what we say next year.
See, I don't think that it is, which is why I'm laughing at Canty, because out of all of his hot takiest of hot takes, this is not one. This is like saying, you know what I hate? I hate getting audited. Yeah, no, it sucks. And that's kind of been the Bears, who have always been derelict of duty for a very long time. So I'm with you. I just think it's not a hot take at all.
And I think the other piece of this is, though, we talked all offseason how this was the best place for a quarterback to land. And so I think when you see it play out the way it is and you compare it to what's going on with Jaden Daniels, it's extremely concerning because you felt like they did everything they were supposed to do in the offseason, and now you're watching a guy who we all believe can play based on his college film look nothing like that film. I think that's a huge problem that they have right now, and at some point they could lose this kid and his confidence.
Yeah, big Stephen A. I see you waving.
Guy, by the way, saying all of this, guys, the Chicago Bears with a rookie quarterback with all of those problems are 2-2.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, Dallas Cowboys are 2-2.
Yeah.
Philadelphia Eagles, what's their record?